Hi, this is Dan Conley here, bringing you one of hopefully many podcasts that I'm going to be doing over the course of my lifetime. My lifetime, I guess. Bringing them to you here, uh, possibly on a YouTube channel. So I hope you like listening to my silky smooth voice because that's what you're going to be getting for 15 minutes or so if you decided to click on this video. Now, I just ate a butterscotch cookie, probably from McCarroll's or something. And let me tell you, you know what? The butterscotch chips, they were okay, but the cookie was so thin. It was I don't like when they're hard. I like when the cookies are nice and soft and squishy. In the middle, those adjectives could describe the cookie, but on the outside it was all hard and crusty, and it just didn't do it for me. So, shout out to McCarroll's. Do a better job with the making of your cookies. Uh, so I downed that cookie on the car on the way home from school. Then I had some Ritz peanut butter crackers. They were phenomenal. Okay, they really, and I washed it down with some H2O. Um, it was really a good time. And the day I was very tired in the morning last night. Actually, I watched a few episodes of Arrested Development. Um, there were some funny parts, but overall, I don't think it's a very good show. It just doesn't compare to, say, The Office or It's Always Sunny or any other number of hilarious TV shows. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you watch Arrested Development, you're going to get Arrested Development. And that was that. My eyes were tired and I went to sleep. Netflix really does wonders on the eyes and the imagination. I had a dream that I was the brother of Job, one of the characters in Arrested Development, which would probably make me the brother of another character on Arrested Development. Think about that. So that was my dream last night. It was very vivid, and I can't wait for the sequel. If you can dream in sequels, I'd subscribe to that because I love my dreams and what joy they bring to me in the morning. But it's always frustrating sometimes when you wake up and you're thinking about your dream and then you really try to analyze it. What was I dreaming about? And then you say, I don't know. What was I dreaming about? And all of a sudden it's gone. The thrill is gone, and you can try to put it back together, but no matter how hard you try, you just don't get results. Um, Batman Begins. Oh, what a good movie! I watched it over and over again, and it never gets old. Uh, Cillian Murphy, just wonderful. He really brings to me. He brings joy when I listen to his voice. It's soothing, but yet majestic, and at the same time. And I love the Batman. He does a great job in the film. So that always does it for me. The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, both quality films. Some of my favorites actually. They go they go along with some Pixar films. I really love the Pixar. The Pixar, Monsters Inc., Ratatouille, Toy Story. Toy Story's classic. I think Disney's done a lot to bring joy to children, and I don't care how many millions of dollars they made off it. They made millions of children feel warm inside, and that is more than anyone could ever ask for from a corporate company. So, shout out to Disney because my childhood was changed forever. Once I was really sick. I was really just throwing up, and it was 3 a.m. I didn't think I could make it through the night, and then my mother had just so happened to get Monsters Inc. out of the library, and I watched that, and it was light outside by the end of it, but it was awesome. And that's really, whenever I watch Monsters Inc. I think about throwing up, but that's a different story. Speaking of Monsters University, that movie was just great. Great, it came out in June, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously I didn't watch it in theaters. I pirated it online. But still a similar effect. Mike Wazowski, really a pivotal character, and shout out to Mike Wazowski because he's a role model to everyone. So I've been making some. I made a recording of an audiobook of a chapter to the Barron's Review AP World History, and nobody wants it. Nobody wants to hear my voice in the form of an audiobook. It's astounding, really, but I can't do anything about it. I got the audiobook, the book right now, the review book, and I'm flipping through it. Chapter 13, the Americas, the Aztecs, Tenochtitlan, pyramids, Machu Picchu. Really, the concepts that get you through the day. Sitting in math class, trying to do fractions and subtraction. Sometimes I forget how to do subtraction. Don't ask about it. It's embarrassing, but I just think of Christopher Columbus. I think about the Native Americans, known by the erroneous term Indians, and it changes. So there's always that to look forward to in math class. Don't tell my teacher that I'm doing that. But regardless, what does the fox say? What does the fox say? I heard that song in math class and I was astounded. The strides that modern music has been making with entertainment, with parody videos, and really, you should check it out. The fox. What does the fox say? It probably says something, but who knows? Before 600 CE, advanced civilization emerged in all these areas. Many of these societies are unusual in that they reached an advanced state without developing systems of writing. I'm sorry, I was just reading out of the textbook because my father was coming down the stairs and he wanted me to be reading out of this. At least he thought I was reading out of this textbook, so I wanted to impress him with that. I'm still flipping through the textbook. I'm gonna throw that on the ground. I'm sitting here on this nice yellow couch in my basement. It's really pleasant. Sometimes I go down here to read, to laugh, to cry, to watch American football. And on the wall, there's this thing my siblings got for Christmas. It's this dartboard, and it's really dumb because there's these holes in it, and I just don't get it. Because I throw the dart at the thing, and the dart just bounces off. It never goes in. How are you supposed to have any fun with a dartboard that never works? And to the left of the dartboard is a map of the United States. I live in the United States, so it means something special to me. I always find it interesting how Alaska, you wouldn't know it on most maps, but it's really enormous. Texas is nowhere near the area of Alaska. It maybe you didn't know this. Alaska has he has 2 cities with the largest area in the United States. Now, it just means it's really, really big, and it's not dense. Several thousand square miles. I hope that rings a bell. Jacksonville would also do it for me. Jacksonville Jaguars. They're a great team. I like the colors. I like Jaguars. I like excuse me. I like striped Jaguars. I've always wanted to go to the Bahamas though. The Bahamas, they're just so mysterious. And Bermuda, what's Bermuda doing out there? Out there on the Atlantic, sitting there. One day I might swim to Bermuda if it wasn't miles and thousands of miles out on the Atlantic Ocean. And here I am in Albany, just dreaming about it. Canada, though, is a viable option. If I ever had to run away, I'd probably run away to Canada, practice my French. Because they speak French in Canada, I think. Never been. They certainly speak Spanish in New York City. I've been there several times. Once at a cross country meet, I went to this vendor and he spoke Spanish. One of his assistants only spoke Spanish, and I asked him for a hamburger, and he just wouldn't give me the hamburger, and I thought it was because he was being rude or something. He didn't like me, but it turned out he only spoke Spanish. So I gave him a break and said, "Yo, tango un hamburger," or le hamburger, something like that, and he still didn't understand it because it wasn't real Spanish. But you got to do the best you can when you're a hungry boy. So I like Oreos. I'm not gonna lie. Oreos really do it for me. You need to have water to wash them down because I don't drink milk. Milk really just doesn't do it for me. It comes out of a cow. I like eating cows. I like eating beef, but I don't like eating their milk. I don't like goat milk either. I like cheese though, but please, I like fine cheese. I'm not gonna go for any of the cheap cheese that you buy in the cheap cheese aisle at the cheap grocery store. That's not how I operate. It's just not the way I operate. Today I went to philosophy club. And I learned a lot about feminism and females and all that garbage. I was enlightened, obviously. I went to Mr. Lewis's room and I bothered children who were trying to study. I probably shouldn't have been doing that. Also, advertising my audiobook that really any polite person should invest in, because audiobooks they're for lazy people who don't want to look in textbooks. But I am lazy. I am lazy too. I'm lazily sitting here on the couch, picking my nose. I'm very, very tired right now. Very tired. There's toys strewn all over the floor. I sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I just wonder. And my head is very scratchy. That's always unpleasant. When your head is scratchy, it really gets to you after a while. Yes, I'm very tired. Aren't we all very tired though after a long day at school with all this homework we have to do? I have to do a presentation in French tomorrow about a canal or something in Paris, and I haven't even started it yet, and I am dozing off. I gotta do that. Gotta go to sleep. Sleeping bags. So I'm gonna tune off now and maybe put another podcast on the internet at some point. So goodbye and good night.
Get jazzy on. I'm that flight that you get on. International. First class seat on my lap, girl. Riding comfortable. Cause I know what that girl them need. New York to Haiti. I got lipstick stamps on my passport. You make it hard to leave. Been around the world, don't speak the language. But your booty don't need explaining. All I really need to understand is when you talk dirty to me. You talk dirty to me.